Hare Krishna. Sara. Jai Radha Madhava Jai Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jai Radha Madhava Jai Kunja Jai Radha Madhava Jai Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jai Radha Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Jai Kunja Bihari Yashoda Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Jai Kunja Bihari Yashodanandana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Jai Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Jai Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jai Radha Madhava Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yugadharma Shila Harinam Sankirtana ki jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai Samveta Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai Gaur Premanande Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudire नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतेरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter number 30, the activities of the Prachetas, text number 33. Yavatte mayaya sprishta भ्रमामा इह कर्मभिः तावद्भवत् प्रसंगानां संगक्ष्यान्नो भवे भवे. यावत्ते मायया स्पृष्टा भ्रमामा इह कर्मभिः तावद्भवत् प्रसंगानां संगस्यान्नो भवे भवे. यावत्ते मायया स्पृष्टा भ्रमामा इह कर्मभिः तावद्भवत् प्रसंगानां संगस्यान्नो भवे भवे. तावद्भवत् प्रसंगानां संगस्यान्नो. Any Matajis? Word to word meaning, translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Yavat, as long as te, your mayaya, by the illusory energy, sprishta, contaminated, brahmamaha, we wander, iha, in this material world, karma be, by the reaction of fruitive activities, tavat, so long, bhavat prasanganam, of your loving devotees, sangha, association, syat, let there be, na, our, bhave bhave, in every species of life. Translation. Dear Lord, as long as we have to remain within this material world due to our material contamination and wander from one type of body to another and from one planet to another, we pray that we may associate with those who are engaged in discussing your pastimes. We pray for this benediction, life after life, in different bodily forms and on different planets. Purport. This is the best benediction that a devotee can ask of the Supreme Lord. This is also confirmed by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sthane stitaha shrutigatam tanuvan manobhi. Bhagavatam 10.14.3. One may be in one position or another according to destiny, But in any case, one must continue to hear about the activities and pastimes of the Supreme Lord, regardless of circumstances. A pure devotee does not pray for liberation or for cessation of the cycle of birth and death because he does not consider that important. The most important thing for a devotee is getting a chance to hear about the pastimes and glories of the Lord. The devotees who engage in the service of the Lord in this world will have the same opportunity in the spiritual world also. Thus, for a devotee, everything is in the spiritual world. For as long as he can hear about the pastimes of Lord or wherever he can chant, the Lord is personally present. Tatra tishtami narada yatra gayanti madbhaktaha. When the pure devotees assemble to chant, hear, and talk about the Supreme Personality Godhead, the place where they assemble becomes Vaikunta. For the devotee, there is no need to pray to the Lord for transferal to the Vaikunta world. A pure devotee can create Vaikunta or Vrindavan anywhere simply by chanting the glories of the Lord without offense. The Prachetas pray for an opportunity to hear of the glories of the Lord in every form of life, bhave bhave. A living entity transmigrates from one body to another. The devotee is not particularly eager to stop this process. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu prays, Mama Janmani Janmaneshware Bhavatat Bhakti Rahaituki Tvai. My dear Lord, life after life, may I be fixed in your pure devotional service. Out of humility, a devotee considers himself unfit to be transferred to the spiritual world. He always thinks himself contaminated by the modes of material nature. Nor is there any need for a devotee to ask to be freed from the modes of material nature. Devotional service itself is in the transcendental position. Therefore, there is no question of asking for this special facility. The conclusion is that a pure devotee is not anxious to stop the repetition of birth and death, but is always eager to associate with other devotees who are engaged in chanting and hearing about the glories of the Lord. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Mena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrachatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parishana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha Namah Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatadeshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaurasve Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Ramostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhano Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha kalpa tarabhyasya kripa sindhu bhevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Mukam karoti vachalam pangurnangayate girim yat kripaha tamaham mande Shri Gurun Dinatarinam. Hare Krishna. So before I start speaking, I seek the blessings of His Grace Anandamai Prabhu and all the assembled Vaishnavas so that I can speak on this verse to glorify the Lord for my purification of heart. So here the Prachetas, they are teaching all of us what should we seek from the Lord. So many people approach the Lord with various desires. But what should be the right kind of desire? We can learn from the prayers of the great devotees of the Lord. So many people, in general, people approach the Lord asking for some material benedictions. So, either from the Lord or His devotees. So, once somebody approached Srila Prabhupada in a train and he was asking that, Swamiji, please bless me. So, generally, when people ask for such blessings, basically they are asking for some material blessings by which they can be healthy, wealthy, and materially well. So, Prabhupada said, I'll bless you that you lose all your material attachments. So, you are shocked. So, um, actually, that is a good benediction, but people in general think that that is not good, because they think that those material benedictions actually give them happiness. So, but actually, we should seek spiritual benedictions from the Lord, as here the Prachetas are teaching all of us. Jai Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan Shri Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadramai Shri Shri Gaur Nitai Ki Jai. So Prahlad Maharaj is saying to Lord Narasimhadev, Oh Lord, I don't want to be like a businessman, that asking for something and then I'll give you something in return. So generally people approach Lord and say that if I pass an exam, I will break one coconut. Or we see in Hyderabad there is famous Visa Balaji. So I'll rotate 11 times or 108 times and please give me my visa, right? So they are not looking for the ultimate visa, going to spiritual world. They want temporary illusory visas. So anyway, that is better than not approaching Lord. That way at least they are approaching Lord. But they just approach for fulfilling their material desires, and once the desires are fulfilled, goodbye. Again we'll see next exam, or whenever I am in some difficulty, I'll approach. And they don't take to the process of devotional service, the core activities of hearing and chanting, right? So what scriptures mention, okay, even if you have material desires, you can still approach Lord, but you should intensely practice devotional service. Akama sarva kamava moksha kama udarati tivrena bhakti yogena ijayata purusha param. So, okay, you have some material desires, but you render intense devotional service. So Lord may fulfill your desires, and at the same time He will purify your heart. No longer you will ask any more such desires. Like Dhruv Maharaj, we see, he had a desire, material desire, but following the instructions of Narada Muni, guided by him, he intensely practiced devotional service. So we see because of that, he actually got purified, and he was not actually desiring that benediction later on. He was actually lamenting, but Lord fulfilled that desire. So, so we should actually be looking for spiritual benedictions from the Lord. So here we see that the Prachetas are asking for association of devotees. Okay, and who is what is that association? In that association, they want to be engaged in discussing the pastimes of the Lord. This is what they want. This is the benediction all these Prachetas are asking for. So, actually, Krishna also mentions what should be done in the association. Association means not just people coming together. There are so many associations in this world, societies or clubs, Lion Club, so many clubs are there. So many kind of associations are there. So, but people come together, but they do sense gratification. Their goal is, you scratch my back, I'll scratch your back. Means they keep their own selfish desires in the center, right? But scriptures and acharyas mention what actually should be done in the association of devotees. So in Bhagavad Gita it is mentioned, my Lord, Machitta Madgata Prana Bodhayanta Parasparam Katayantascha Mam Nitya Tushyanti Cha Ramanti Cha. Okay, so they should discuss about the Lord. Bodhayanta Parasparam Tushyanti Cha Ramanti Cha means by that discussion they will be enlivened, they will be satisfied in their Krishna consciousness. Also in Nectar of Instruction, Rupa Goswami says, Dadati Pratigrahnati Guhyamaktiyati Prichati Bhunkte Bojayate Chaiva Shadvidi Priti Lakshanam. So Prabhupada gives wonderful purport that how in material world also people associate, like he says, people gather in a hotel, businessmen, and they also do these 6 things: giving gifts, receiving gifts, eating together, and sharing confidential things. But there the goal is business, right? But devotees replace that by Krishna conscious activities. Okay, so in one lecture His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj was saying that some so-called devotees, they used to say that we are also in association, but what we are doing together, we are going to movies. So we are also in association of devotees. So just because you are together, even if you are devotees, if you are not engaged in devotional activities, the core Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. So if you don't do this and we are engaged in materialistic activities, then that is not actually association of devotees. As Rupa Goswami says, Atyahara Prayasascha Prajalpa, talking about politics or worldly things. So sometimes, devotees may also discuss what is happening in the world, but in a Krishna conscious perspective. Not that, okay, this is happening, that is happening, and then lament or give your commentaries on it, means without Krishna conscious perspective. So then it becomes very materialistic. Our whole consciousness will be filled with those materialistic thoughts. So that is not the right kind of association. Association should actually enliven us, awaken us, inspire us in Krishna consciousness to the reality. So that is actually association. Satam prasangam mama virya samvido bhavanti hritkarna rasayana kata taddoshanad asvapavargavartmani shraddha ratir bhaktir anukrameshyati. So this is what association should do. Should actually help us to glorify the Lord and gradually elevate us in our consciousness from Shraddha to Prema. So actually we can see that how association enlightens us. So we are actually stooped in ignorance. But when you hear in the association of Lord, we come out of that ignorance, right? That's why we say Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya. So for example, like when we hear from pure devotees of the Lord. Uh, so we see that we come out of ignorance. Like Prabhupada talking about how we are not this body soul, gives a wonderful analogy. How actually in the bodily conception of life, he says actually everybody is mad in this material world, in ignorance. So he says like in a mad hospital sometimes people call themselves Prime Minister, I am the Prime Minister here, or I am the I am the officer, this and that. So people keep proclaiming and talking like that. So he says similarly in this world, people foolishly identify themselves with so many false designations, saying that I am engineer, I am this, I am that, and thinking and acting in that way, right? So actually that is a fact that we so much identify with this false designations, right? Uh, Even after coming to Krishna consciousness, right? So much we identify and foolishly we think and act, right? So, but when we hear, then we actually get awakened to the reality. So, just like in darkness, if you are walking and if you touch some rope, so you may get fear that it may be a snake. But actually, when there is light, then you realize that actually this is not snake. So, same way in bodily conception of life in ignorance, we think we are this body or identify with so many false designations in relation with the body. So we fall in ignorance, we become fearful of material existence. But when we associate with devotees and hear, then actually we get enlightened. So we see in Srimad Bhagavatam itself so many examples of how devotees take association of devotees and get enlightened and change their lives. So we see the example of Narada Muni in his previous life as a child of that Shudrani. So he was a very simple child, and when the Bhakti Vedantas came to their house in the Chaturmas period, which is going on, so they stayed there and he got the opportunity to serve them. So serving means not only physically rendering service, Vapu, but also he got the opportunity to hear from them. So that is very, very important. Because Vapu may, means we may get Vapu only for some time, but Vani always remains. So he heard from them. So and he took advantage of their association. So association is there, but what is important, association of devotees is there, but what is important is, are we taking advantage of that association? That is very important. So Narada Muni mentions what are some of the qualities which he had because of which he could take advantage of that association. So he mentions in one verse about 4 qualities. Dante akridanake alpa bhashani anuvartini. So is Dante, he says, is self-controlled. Because suppose you are not self-controlled in association, even if you are sitting in the class, our mind may be wandering. Even if while hearing, we may not be attentive to the instructions. Right? Right. So same way, akridanake says not to be attached to sports or frivolous activities. So okay, children may play sports because they are children. But the point is not to be attached. If you are attached, then what happens? You cannot focus, right? Those thoughts, the mind will be longing for those things, right? And frivolous activities also distract us. Dante akrinake alpa bhashini. Talking only what is necessary, when necessary. So one devotee, when he got an opportunity to serve one great soul, his holiness Rompat Swami Maharaj. So once this devotee in Juhu he was serving, so every 5 minutes he was going and knocking the door. Maharaj, you want anything? I am here. So every few minutes he was going and knocking the door. Maharaj, how can I serve you? So Maharaj, after some time, he got upset. He said, my service to you is get lost from here. Don't disturb me. so, so means we should also know how to talk or how to deal with great souls. Not that we unnecessarily disturb them. Only serve when required. Our service sometimes may be to actually not disturb them unnecessarily, right? So that is Alpa Bhashini. And also ask relevant questions, not that unnecessary, useless, as Krishna mentions, Tad Vidhi Pranipatena Pariprashnena Sevaya Upadekshanti Te Gnanam Gnana. So you should ask Pariprashna, but that question should be relevant. Somebody asked Prabhupada that how many windows and staircases are there in that Empire State Building? Absurd inquiry, Prabhupada used to say. Useless inquiry. So, we should not ask for such kind of inquiries. And Anuvartini, to follow the instructions submissively. So, Narada Muni, so that child, that boy, was very young, but he had these wonderful qualities because of which he could take advantage of that association. And also he says that he had faith in those instructions, what he has received from those Bhakti Vedantas, right? So we see that after the Chaturmas, those Bhakti Vedantas actually left that place. So just because they left that place, it's not that the child forgot them, forgot those instructions. So what is the test? So we see that his mother died because of snake bite, and so he didn't lament or think that what is this, why Lord did like that, I am the only one child, I have no other shelter, why Lord did like this. He didn't materially lament. So he left that place and he remembered the instructions of those Bhakti Vedantas, and he went to the forest and fully absorbed himself in devotional service of the Lord, completely became detached from any sort of material attachments. So from that pastime, we can see that how one should actually take advantage of the association of the devotees. So we also have the association of Bhakti Vedantas, right? His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. So although Srila Prabhupada left in 1977, disappeared physically, but actually his association is always available through his books, through his lectures, or through his disciples, right? So we have to sincerely take advantage of that association and come out of our illusions. So if you see another example of Dhruv Maharaj, in his life also, at every stage, when he was in difficulty, he had the advantage of association of devotees, and he took advantage basically of that association. So we know that when he was chastised by his stepmother, Suruchi, so he was in great distress, right? A small child severely chastised. So he was crying, lamenting, and he was in great anger also. But because he was fortunate to have such a kind mother, Sunati, who was a great devotee of Lord, so she guided him properly, that don't become envious of Suruchi, malicious towards them. And she also said, she guided him that if you want to fulfill your desire, go to the forest and worship Lord Vishnu. So because of, it's not that Dhruv Maharaj didn't take that seriously. The greatness of Dhruv Maharaj is, although he had that material desire, he submissively actually followed the instructions of his superiors, right? Like Suniti, and then later Narada Muni. So he went to the forest, and we know that Lord sent Narada Muni because he has a desire to serve the Supreme Lord. So that is also a lesson for us, that when we have a sincere desire to serve the Lord, Lord will arrange the association of devotees. So, but Narada Muni appeared and he instructed. He first tested him and then instructed him. So the glory of Dhruva Maharaj actually is that although he got his association only for some time, right, short time, right, he just instructed him and Narada Muni left. But the greatness of Dhruva Maharaj is he supposedly heard and sincerely followed those instructions. It's not how much time you get the association of devotees. It's how seriously you take that association of devotees. That's what matters. In Russia also we see, when Srila Prabhupada went there, he hardly stayed for 3-4 days. And there after 1-2 days he met one Indian and one Russian boy who were interested. And after some time that Indian also left. Only that Russian boy was there, who was interested. And Prabhupada just spoke to him for next 2 days, giving the essence of all the philosophy. Right? So that boy took it so seriously, and Prabhupada left. It's not that Prabhupada again came back. But we see that His Grace Anant Shanti Prabhu, how seriously he took that instructions and then actually got that Bhagavad Gita translated, printed and distributed that. Right? So how, it's not, as I said, how much time we get the association, but how seriously we take that association. That's what matters. So Dhruva Maharaj, we see that because of taking those instructions seriously, he actually got completely purified, and he laments for his material desires, and Lord blessed him. And later on also, when his brother Uttam actually dies because of Yakshas, so he becomes very angry, and then we know that he goes and attacks. So that time he was actually killing so many Yakshas, although only one Yaksha killed his brother in great anger. So that time, because of Swayambhu Manu's guidance, he actually stops. Otherwise he was just going on killing. Right? So again we see that there he could have neglected Swayambhu Manu, that, hey, who are you to say I know what is right? No, not like that. He humbly, submissively heard that and he followed that instructions. So we see that because he followed that instruction, Kuvera was pleased that he stopped fighting, killing the Yakshas, and Kuvera appeared, and there he asked, what benediction you want? So there Dhruva Maharaj, he could have asked any material benediction. Kuvera would have given a lot of wealth, or he could have asked physical well-being. But he asked only for remembrance of the Lord and association of devotees. So that is a most common thing we see, always desired by the devotees. Even if you see Prahlad Maharaj, he always asks, he is also asking for the association of his spiritual master, association of the devotees. Even in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela, we see that Haridas Thakur also was asking for this. He says, "O Lord, if you want to ever fulfill my desire, if you want to give me any benediction, give me this benediction, that I may become a dog near the house of your devotees, so that I can get the remnants of your devotees." But later he feels that actually I am not qualified even to ask for this. I have no qualification to even ask for this, because I am so fallen. So how can I ask for such a benediction, he feels, Haridas Thakur. Same way Mukunda, he also asks in the Mahaprakash Leela, Sridhar Kolavesha or Mukunda, they actually ask that we only want to become the servant of your servants. So this is what the great devotees of the Lord, after pleasing the Lord, this is what they are asking. When the Lord actually asks them, what you want, I am ready to fulfill any of your desires. This is what they are asking. So now when we see our own lives, so we have not performed any austerities like Dhruv Maharaj, or nor have we undergone any difficulties like Prahlad Maharaj, nor have we pleased the Lord like Sridhar Kolavecha or Mukunda or all Haridas Thakur chanting so many rounds every day. So we have not done any such uh, uh, intense devotional activities, right? But still we are blessed to get the association of devotees. So we should actually feel very fortunate that actually I am not qualified to get this association of devotees, but Lord and devotees are so kind. Like Srila Prabhupada was asked that what is our qualification? Why we are able to practice this Krishna consciousness? Why we got this opportunity? So Prabhupada said, actually I gave you the qualification. So actually we don't have any qualification to receive this wonderful association of devotees or the opportunity to render devotional service. So it's mercy of great souls upon us. So but we have to take that association very seriously and apply that instructions in our own life. So we should understand the association of devotees is very, very rare. Bahunam janmanam ante gnanavan mam prapadyante vasudayam sarvamiti samahatma sudurlabha. So after many, many lifetimes, one may come to this conclusion, Vasudayam Sarvamiti. Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschid etati siddhai. Etatam api siddhanam kaschin mam veti tattvataha. So it is very, very rare out of many karmis, jnanis, yogis, somebody actually becoming a devotee and having the right understanding. So, but while staying in the association of devotees, we may not take the association so seriously. We may take it for granted. But we should understand that each of these devotees is very, very rare. After so many lifetimes, we actually are getting this opportunity to associate with each other. And it's very rare to find someone who has the right kind of understanding. So because in this material world, everywhere, many are non-devotees, and even the so-called spiritualists, they don't have proper understanding. So we should be grateful. And also in Nectar of Devotion, we see that Rupa Goswami mentions, out of the 5 potent forms of devotional service, the chanting of the holy names, worshipping the deities, studying Srimad Bhagavatam, staying in holy places, and association of devotees. These are the 5 potent forms of devotional service. So he mentions that these are the 5 potent forms by which one can quickly advance in Krishna consciousness. So, but out of all these 5 potent forms, the most important is the association of devotees. Why? Because actually even somebody may be chanting the holy names, but suppose there is no association of devotees, eventually there is every chance that one may fall down. One may actually give up chanting the holy names. But even in case somebody is not chanting, but if he comes to the association of devotees, gradually he will take up chanting the holy names. So that's why the association of devotees is very, very vital and important. So we see in Srimad Bhagavatam actually so many examples also of those who could not take association, and because of that they fell down. Even not only in the beginning stages, even in the later stages. So we see, for example, Ajamil. He was not actually a devotee, but in the sense rendering little bit devotional service from a Brahmana family, performing the rituals. But when he went to the forest, we know that he saw that scene and he got distracted. So there was no association of devotees. Similarly, we see in the 5th canto of Bharat Maharaj, he was a very elevated devotee. Mentioned that he is on the stage of Bhava. So there also we see that he got distracted by that deer. The deer became very dear to him. So in one lecture, His Holiness Radhanand Maharaj was saying that if only he was in the association of devotees, devotees would have told, Bharat Prabhu, why, why you are unnecessarily becoming attached to this deer? You left the whole kingdom, wife, children, everyone, and you came. Why are you unnecessarily becoming attached to this? Krishna will take care, you just leave it. Krishna is already taking care of so many deers in the forest, right? So he will take care of this also. So we see that because of no association, he got distracted. Same way we see Pururava. He was also a great devotee of the Lord. And Shaubari Muni, right? Or Ayati, right? In all these cases, there is no association of devotees, right? So they got distracted. So His Holiness Haldar Swami Maharaj was giving a wonderful example how association of devotees is very vital. So he was telling, like rainy season like we have now, everywhere there is water or muddy. So if you are walking in a muddy sand, so if you walk alone, there is a risk because you may slip and fall. But if it is a sleeping place, if you are walking with 2-3 people, then you can hold hands and walk. Because in case if you slide or skip, you'll have someone to hold so that you will not fall. So you are saying actual association of devotees is something like that. So when you are in the association, then you have each other to enlighten each other. In the sense, you will be protected from fall downs. His Grace Devakinandan Prabhu was giving one nice example once that devotees are like lamps. So even under lamp sometimes there is darkness. But if you bring 2 lamps together, then that darkness is removed. So he said that when you come in the association of devotees, whatever ignorance means is there, that also can be removed by Machita Madgata Prana Bodhayanta Parasparam. So that is the advantage of association of devotees. So by Srila Prabhupada's causeless mercy, we have this wonderful opportunity to associate with devotees and in that association render devotional service of the Lord. We see even during Srila Prabhupada's time, somebody leaving the association and going to Radhakund and trying to chant on his own, and eventually he was not in association, he was in some petrol bunk, right? So the association of devotees is so vital. So we should feel very fortunate. And as I told in the class, actually in that association we have to take advantage of that association by engaging in the 9 process of devotional service. That is what is real association. So also the acharyas actually have taught us how to take association of devotees or how to long for the association of devotees. We see like Narottam Das Thakur, although he didn't have the association of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or his associates, he was so much eager to hear about them. So every day he would hear about one of the acharyas, and then he would actually feel that I am so sinful that I took birth at a time when all these devotees are no more in this world. He would actually lament, and he would actually feel so much separation from them that many times these devotees would appear and bless him. And same way in Srinivas Acharya's life also we see that how he was so eager and desperate for the association of devotees. Whenever he approached the place to associate, those particular associate would leave, leave the world. But because of his eagerness, they would again appear and bless him. Finally, he gets the association of Jiva Goswami. So, like Narottam Das Thakur sings, Se Sangha Na Paya Kande Narottama Das. He's actually crying for that association, longing for that association. So the Acharyas are actually teaching us how we should be eager, desperate and longing for association of devotees. And also we should have faith while associating with devotees. Like King Kulashekar, in that pastime, we see that once his own ministers, to distract him, tell that all these devotees, they have stole some ornaments. But he says, no, if in case they have done any mistake, no, so he tells to bring a pot with a snake. He tells in case they have done, the snake will bite. And he puts his hand in the pot with the snake. And also in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastime, we hear about Kalidas, how much faith he had in the association of devotees. The pastime comes about Jadu Thakur, where Kalidas was from a very rich background. Actually, he is one of the relatives of Raghunath Das Goswami. It's very, very rich. But this Jadu Thakur was from a very low family, low background, and very, very poor also. But this Kalidas, he goes to their house in some other village, although they stay quite far. And then he actually asked for the remnants. They were not ready to give, Jadu Thakur. So he gives them some mangoes, and then he goes from this place. So Jadu Thakur also accompanies them for some time, Kalidas. And after he goes back, this Kalidas, he actually takes the dust of this Jadu Thakur after he leaves with great faith. And he waits at the house of Jadu Thakur until late night, so that after Jadu Thakur and his wife throw away the remnants of that mango, he takes that with great faith. So he had so much faith in the devotees of the Lord. So Lord Chaitanya was so pleased with this Kalidas that when Lord Chaitanya would enter the temple of Jagannath, he would wash his feet at the steps. So he allowed this Kalidas to drink that water, Charnamrit, twice. Third time Lord says, no. So Lord would never allow anybody to drink that Charnamrit. So this is what we see, that the devotees of the Lord, how they have so much faith in the association of devotees. So we discussed today how we should not be looking for material benedictions when we approach the Lord. So one analogy is given, just like sweet rice, if it is mixed with sand, nobody likes to have it, right? So same way, when we approach Lord, we should approach with a pure heart, asking for pure benedictions, means spiritual benedictions. So that's what the great devotees are seeking for. And what we should do in that association, we discussed. Machita Madgata Prana, Dadati Pratigranati, all this. And what is not association also we discussed. And what association does, it enlightens us, awakens us, inspires us in our Krishna consciousness. And we discussed several examples from Srimad Bhagavatam of Dhruva Maharaj and Narada Muni in his previous life. And what if there is no association, what can happen also we discussed. And at the end we discussed how we should have faith in the association of devotees. Hare Krishna. So I thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samveta Gaura Bhaktavinda ki jai.